Welcome back to one of my videos as always. Now we are doing week 15 NFL schedules. Have a Merry Christmas. Hopefully you get all the stuff you wish for. Let's get to it. The San Francisco 49ers versus Tennessee Titans. I think the Tennessee Titans will win because next week I think they're going to get back Derrick Henry. They might get him back. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers of the first Christmas game. I think the Green Bay Packers will win because they're the best team in the NFC. Moving on to the Indianapolis Colts and the Arizona Cardinals for the second Christmas game. I think the Arizona Cardinals will win because they're top 4 best team in the NFC. Moving on to the Detroit Lions and Atlanta Falcons. I think the Atlanta Falcons will win because the Lions have only won 2 games and they are the second worst team. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Carolina Panthers. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win because they're one of the top NFC teams. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Baltimore Ravens will win. I meant to say the Cincinnati Bengals will win. The Cincinnati Bengals are 8-6, and the Baltimore Ravens are also 8-6. Moving on to the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Houston Texans. I think the Los Angeles Chargers will win because I think they will. Because the Houston Texans are one of the worst teams. Moving on to the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Los Angeles Rams will win because they're one of the top NFC teams. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots. I think the New England Patriots will win because they're a good team. Moving on to the Jacksonville Jaguars versus New York Jets. I think the New York Jets will win because the Jacksonville Jaguars are the worst team again. I think last year they were the second worst team. Moving on to the New York Giants versus Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Philadelphia Eagles will win because they're going to be in a wild card game because they won 7 games. Moving on to the Chicago Bears versus the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seattle Seahawks will win. I think they might be able to get into a wild card game if they win 2 more games. The Seattle Seahawks are 5-9. The New York Giants are 4-10. The New York Giants are 4-10. Maybe the Chicago Bears are 4-10. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will win because they're one of the top AFC teams. They're the best. Moving on to the Denver Broncos and Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Denver Broncos will win. Moving on to the Washington Football Team versus Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys will win because they're one of the top NFC teams. Moving on to the Miami Dolphins versus New Orleans Saints. I think the New Orleans Saints will win. They are both wild card contenders. Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye. But watch my videos as always. Subscribe and like this video. Bye.